now that I have the head carriage back onto its rails, now I can reattach this side piece right here. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do before I attach it is to put my little springs back on. Okay, so I'll grab the two curved ones and one flat one. Fingernails help. Alright, so the springs will curve towards the inside. I put those around there first. Then I put the flat washer on next. And then I will place this with the curved part facing towards the outside of the machine. And I just slip that right onto the bar itself. Alright, and then I'll take the little stopper. And there is a flat edge, so it only goes on one way. Push that in until it stops. And I'll do the other bar. Same way. That is fitted on. Then I can place my bar up here, or the side panel, and I basically have to lift the bars so that way they guide into their little positions. Okay, lift this bar out. Top one goes into the top slot. Sometimes taking some tweezers and you can actually lift up on it. Now, if you need to, you can bring it back off if you forgot something. Which I forgot one of these little metal brackets here, so I have to take this little post back off. Also curve it towards the outside of the machine. Okay. Alright. So when you're putting these back on, those little fork prong things right here, this little bracket, one will curve down, which is the front one, and one will curve up, which is the back one. We'll put this back on here. Pull that around the front. Lift it up into position. So that way everything guides back into the proper spot. Okay. Then I'll put the screws back in. I usually start up at the top first. I'll put the three that go right over here on this edge. And last but not least, the front one. Alright, then I'll put the two big screws in. One here. And one here in the front. Alright, so now they're all locked in position. The head guides back and forth smoothly. Alright. And then I can put my little retainer bar back on. To to do the retainer bar, you basically have that little metal thing, and you'll actually see it up underneath the retainer that slides back and forth. You pivot it up against the belt retainer, making sure it's not too tight, but also tight enough where it'll hold it into position. So I'll just use my little screwdriver right here. And just tighten it as best as possible. Alright. So that way it kind of stops it from going in, but it should be enough where you can push it down. It should not be really tight because you don't want it to be too tight and get binded up. Okay.